So there's one thing that I've learned about forward facing sonar since I've had it, and that thing is shaking a minnow works. And now I see why everybody's throwing it and why all the pros are using it, why they're all catching fish. So I started stockpiling up spin rods, little small baits like this, little finesse, little small tungsten swim bait jig heads, light braided fishing line. What I'm gonna do is just, I got this new 13 fishing. This is a 610 medium light spinning rod, which is gonna really work because this has a great tip for shaking a minnow. What I'm gonna do in this video, I'm just gonna walk you guys through what I'm gonna be throwing and how I'm gonna be utilizing the forward facing sonar that I put on my boat. Kind of show you guys how I rig my spinning rod, what exact baits I'm gonna be using, the line and the hook. So you guys stay tuned, it's gonna be a fun one. Alright guys, so like I said, what I want to show you guys is just some baits, some hooks. This is basically, shaking a minnow technique. Using a spinning rod, a real light powered rod, medium light to be exact. You probably can't see it, but it's a 610 medium light. And what this is gonna do is gonna allow me to set the hook on these fish. And I'm not gonna, bend no hooks out, okay? And I'm also not gonna snap no line. And I'm gonna get into that. Some of the baits that I have been throwing, one being the Mayor, made by Rapala. This is a little 3-inch swim bait with a boot tail on the back of it. One that I've caught a lot of fish on is the freeloader. This is the gizzard shad color. It's like 4 1/4 inch. This has that straight tail back here, which is what these fish really like. It's similar to this, and that's what that tail's doing in the water, just quivering back there like that. This is a 3-inch bait made by Yum. It's their forward facing sonar. It's kind of very similar to the Mooch Minnow, which is made by Rapala. And then here's the Mooch Minnow, which is very popular. Dustin Connell, Jacob Wheeler, they've been throwing this bait. They won a lot of money on it this year. That's what it looks like. Super, super tiny. Alright, and so with this technique that I've recently learned how to use, you're using small hooks. So the Mooch Minnow has TP in it, so it's like a Last Tech. The freeloader is just like your standard plastic. So this type of bait right here, you can use a screw lock jig head. So this is a VMC screw lock jig head. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has that screw lock right there. And that works really well with like the freeloader, because you can spin that bait up on this keeper and it's not gonna come off. This is a 3/16. But with this Elastec bait, this is impossible to screw up there like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. So Elastec baits, you want something with like a small keeper like that. And this is a big bites bait. This actually right here actually swivels the eye, which is pretty cool. But this allows you to penetrate this bait, and then it allows you to slide it up on there. And you really got to work this Elastec, and this bait's used. I just found it on my boat, but you can slide this up on there and it'll work way better. That keeper, maybe even throw some super glue up there, but trying to put this on a twist lock, it's not gonna work. I tried it, trust me. So them are the baits that I've been throwing. I even picked up some other hooks. This is the owner It's like the roller head. Like I said, this is the VMC, it's a Moon Eye tungsten. That keeper right there, I think it's gonna work really well with like Elastec baits. I even got some other ones by Dirty Jigs. This is more of a stout hook. I would use this more on like a bait caster setup. You can see I got one paired right there with the mare. You could still use this with forward facing sonar, but this hook's a little bit more bigger, so I would be throwing this more like on a medium heavy, medium powered bait cast rod. And then, like I said, the line that I'm using, well, for one, on my spinning rod, I'm going to put backing on there. Why? Because I'm not going to spool this 3000 size reel with a whole bunch of braid that I'm never going to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put backing on there. From there, I'm going to tie that with some braided line. Okay, this is an 8 carrier braided line. This is a braided line that I started using. It's made by Bingo Life, however you want to pronounce it. It's good braid. Like I said, it's an 8 carrier braid, super smooth. This braid right here is super smooth. It's really compared to like Seagar's braid. I'll leave the link in the description. You guys can use my my discount code. You save 20%. It's Japanese braided line. They just brought it to the market. From there, I am going to use CR. I'm going to tie this with an FG knot to that braided line. I'm gonna tie a good 10 to 15 foot leader. This is 8-pound test. All right. The reason why I'm using 8-pound test, well, I'm using light hooks, light rod, light everything. It's going to be less visible in the water, and it's going to allow these minnows to do what they're supposed to do. So let me go ahead and show you guys real quick before I'm not going to rig that up right this second, but I'm going to show you. So here's another 13 fishing rod. This is a 7-1 medium power. If I can show you guys the tip. As you can see, that tip is very, very flexible. All right. And the reason why, like I said, is here's my braided line, and it's tied right there with an FG knot. There's the FG knot to an 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader. That hook right here, if you were to throw this on a medium heavy, you would bend this hook out. These hooks are very, very tiny. The diameter is small, but razor sharp, super sticky. And I got this one on a freeloader. This is, I think that's that Big Bites hook with this swivels up here. Gives it a little bit more action. It's pretty cool. But that's basically my setup, and that's what I've been doing with this forward-facing sonar. Here's another one. This is a Shimano. Okay, same setup. Braided line, FG knot, 8-pound test to a swim bait. Now, don't get me wrong. You can throw other things than, swim bait. This is a Demiki rig kind of setup. You can throw drop shot, Ned rig, wacky rig. You can throw a bunch of stuff. But I just want to show you guys what I've been using, how I've been catching these fish, utilizing the forward-facing sonar. It's an incredible piece of technology. And I'm gonna get you guys some shots, coming up soon of me catching fish. Because if you ain't got it, if you're thinking about getting it, you should jump on it. I believe they're still on sale right now. I got mine off Amazon, $14.99, GLS 10 bucks. The sonar, the bracket, the cables, everything. As long as you have a Garmin graph, your setup is, you buy that plus kit, the Garmin Panoptics plus system kit, whatever they call it. All right, guys. So go out, pick you up a spinning rod. If you have forward-facing sonar, even if you don't have forward-facing sonar, doesn't matter. But if you're looking to experiment, go get you a spinning rod that's a medium light powered rod. All right, get you a spinning reel, get you some braid fluorocarbon like I mentioned. Go get you some of these baits that I talked about with the hooks, and go out and try to catch some fish. But guys, if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that like button. If you like this type of content, make sure that subscribe button. If you have any questions about the rod, reel, baits, line, hook, anything I discussed in this video, drop me a comment. And until next time, guys, tight lines.